Thinking there wasn't a point to ask the robot what she meant. It would probably claim we don't have the appropriate level to find out. Claire thought to herself, then moved towards the shimmering light. Seeing the green around the perimeter of the wall, Claire stepped through, and just like the previous time they stepped out of the simulated environment after getting off the elevator, the experience wasn't much different. What did throw the prior experience out the window was the difference. "Welcome, adventurer," a robot similar to Melody addressed Claire. Not expecting to be greeted on the other side, Claire just stared at the robot. It stood behind the counter, like at a hotel when first checking in. "It's understandable that you're confused," the robot responded in a respectful tone, completely different from Melody, who seemed to enjoy hiding things from them. "What is going on?" Claire finally succeeded in pushing out the words through her mouth. She walked towards the counter. It was then Claire noticed that instead of a metal counter, the material was some kind of polished wood. Being wood instead of metal, the impression was more elegant. To anticipate various scenarios, Star and Moon had incorporated an adventurer system into each of the underground cities, though with differences for each location based on cultural and environmental factors. The robot explained. Listening to what it was telling her, Claire couldn't understand the concepts being presented. Her eyes wandered behind the robot, looking at several screens that had various information on them. As though Claire's reaction was appropriate to the situation, the robot continued. The fact that the shelters would be occupied by people, it was assumed that the local environment would have become hostile for humans to continue living in them. Since humans wouldn't be in a position to defend themselves through conventional means, the adventure system was deemed ideal to train the residents themselves to become strong enough to fight back the local and potentially global threat. Claire looked back to see that Hannah and Melody had walked through the wall. Just like with Claire, Hannah stared at the surroundings, which was a mix between a large city airport and hotel lobby. Instead of continuing with the conversation with the robot, Claire waited until Hannah was caught up with what Claire had learned. How is it possible for humans to fight those things? Hannah asked, disbelief clearly written on her face at the thought of going up against creatures that even the military wasn't able to handle. The robot patiently listened to Hannah's complaint. It's understandable that you would be concerned, especially with your own personal experiences telling you differently than the picture I presented you with. It moved to the side and turned to direct their attention to the several screens behind the counter. On the screen appeared the generic forms of a male and female human. Though your levels aren't sufficient to be provided with all the information, I can provide some context. As discovered by our scientists at Star and Moon, the world has some type of mysterious energy. This has already been explained to you by Melody. Claire looked at Melody, confused by how the new robot knew what Melody had conveyed to Claire and Hannah. Smiling, Melody pointed to her temple. Though we aren't the same models, we do share the same network. It allows us to stay in communication with other units inside this place. The Darlena models have separate consciousnesses, but they might as well be the same. This was decided to make it easier for adventurers on the off chance any of you were able to make it to the other sites. Yes, just call any of us by our model name. Our identical appearance makes it easy for adventurers to interact with us, one of our main functions, Darlena explained, giving them a gentle smile. Compared to myself, Darlenas tend to be rather plain in their mannerisms. They put more emphasis on customer service. Melody sighed as though it found the idea to be ridiculous.